To avoid the wind-stricken young lady, I pretended to be a corpse, but the woman was still in front of everyone. Pressed my lips to mine. I have no doubt, if I don't wake up soon, this woman really knows how to be on deck. Devour me alive. I stood up nearby. He ran to the railing. He threatened her to jump off. Don't come any closer. But Pei Ruyan blocked me, and I didn't dare jump. He spoke again leisurely. Or die. Or do it. Right. When I opened my eyes, I found myself at an auction. It has become a commodity that comes at a cost. The thought of running away just popped into my head, then another man took it. The barely breathing tragic state was extinguished. Could it be that if you really fall into this group, it was in the hands of a demon that devours people without leaving a bone? 15 million. 20 million. 30 million. The bidding calls grew louder and louder. I couldn't help but tremble. Countless burning gazes, roaming freely within me. Not a single part is missed. One time. Once or twice. Deal. The door basket was violently kicked open with a loud bang. All the guests turned their heads with a sharp gleam. A group of masked men in black were seen broadcasting the broadcast with guns. The crowd instantly turned into a beastly beast. I was just about to carry Fufu and escape. A heavy object suddenly slammed down on me. I turned my head with difficulty. It was the auctioneer. The first time at such close range encounter this kind of scene, even if I studied medicine. He almost threw up on the spot. I realized the hope of escaping was slim. He simply lay on the ground and played dead. The gunfire around his ears gradually faded, but then there was the sound of high heels. But it abruptly stopped right before my eyes. Sister Pei, everything is cleaned up. The Liu family gave me such a big gift. How do you think I should respond? No matter what Sister Pei wants to do, I follow them unconditionally. Lin Man declared her loyalty without hesitation, but then he found his own boss. He was staring with interest at the ground with the phrase, difficult corpse. It really is quite attractive. What a pity. I'm quite satisfied with this sentence. What does satisfied mean? Sister Pei left everything in the United States. He went into hiding and returned to the Dragon Kingdom to serve his father. The person hadn't even disembarked yet, but the Liu family sent him to silence him without raising troops. Not only did he turn the tables and kill them all, still enjoying it here. Sister Pei is really a pervert. How should these bodies be handled? This sea area is home to tiger sand all year round. Just throw them into the sea to feed the fish. Especially this sentence before him. Chop it up and throw it down. Sister Pei is really getting more and more twisted. A group of people on deck trained to carry hundreds of corpses, thrown into the sea in an orderly fashion. Lin Man walked over to the chair and softly called out, Sister Pei, bring the dagger. Do you think you want to chop it up right now? Pei Ruyan took the dagger but couldn't reach my side. I came in person. I lay motionless, lying face down, only feeling a chill at the tip of my nose. The dagger was stuck straight into the floor in front of me. The next second, the woman's fingertips gently brushed over my blood-burning top. He slowly reached inside. This woman completely doesn't play by the rules. What kind of twisted humor is this, Sister Pei? He actually became interested in a single phrase, male corpse. Just as I was about to give up playing dead, a gravity swept toward me, pressed against my chest. Immediately after, my lips were kissed fiercely. The woman's kiss was passionate yet out of control. Strong comrade prevention. It feels as if it crushes me. I struggled to protest. Pei Ruyan let go of me. There was a hint of dramatic tension in his tone. Enough of it. I looked up and finally saw clearly. This woman's appearance. I have to admit, this was a face that could be called a divine eye. I asked calmly, what exactly do you want? Ling Wan's jaw nearly dropped in shock. After all this fuss, Sister Pei was both a dagger and a teaser. Are you messing with me? Pei Ruyan wrapped her arms around my neck. He sat on my lap. Her arms suddenly tightened. He wished he could merge me into his very bones. What do you think? It's okay. This is something that should be killed, not humiliated. I do not sell myself. I never said I wanted to buy it. Something that should have cost 100 million. Now it's free. How could I not snatch it? It turned out she was the one who filmed me. Then I could survive a hail of bullets. It was also the work of this woman. Only salvation is possible. Since you saved me, you can take me home. Your great kindness. I definitely will. What kind of person am I? Just don't do good deeds. She was like a little fox locking onto her prey. His gaze was focused and excited. Sure. My lips trembled. He weakly uttered two words. How long? Until I get tired of it. Has anyone ever complimented you on being really good looking? Me. He suddenly pushed her to the ground. He turned and ran, but there was no movement behind him. I turned around to look. The witch was slowly rising from the ground, approaching me with a sense of harm and pressure. Don't come any closer. I rolled over to the railing. The howling sea breeze made me toss like a piece of paper. I've killed quite a few people. I've never seen you so fearless before. He clearly has me swayed and doesn't dare to jump. The sea beneath her feet was turbulent. There is also a large white sand swimming nearby. I really don't want to die. I haven't finished my studies. Grandpa's legacy hadn't been inherited yet. I haven't really seen this world before. Pei Ruyan's patience was clearly exhausted. Rather than remaining with arrogance that leaves no room for wisdom, or die. You. He chose the latter. Pei Ruyan. Remember this name. This is your woman's name. Seeing that I didn't react, the woman watched mockingly. I said, being helped up, come listen to the calls. I looked at the woman's foolishness. It seemed as if something had come to mind. Yanlong said, the cultivation is like a swallow. Cultivation. How long has my sister been in there? 7 days. Now I finally understand. Why did Sister Pei ask me to wait 7 days? He also brought over Mr. Wen's materials. Why stand so far away? Like Sister Yang, this is the information you need. Wen Chen, 20 years old, a sophomore in the Department of Junior High, Gangcheng University, orphaned both at a young age, raised by his grandfather at Jinying Medical Clinic. Like Sister Yang, are you going to the Lu family now? Today, you will acknowledge your ancestry and return to your roots. All the Lu family members had arrived. First, send him back to the Isle of Man. Yes, on the Isle of Man. I sat on the sofa, listening to two servants chatting idly. Who in their home would buy a house, built in places like this? Exactly. I heard this word is deadly. That was a black mandala. It symbolizes the darkness of the unknown, death and wandering love. That was just like that woman. Cold is blood and madness. Now, the most important thing is this. I have to escape. Grandpa couldn't see me coming home, definitely worrying. At that moment, suddenly, the roar of a propeller came from outside, either playing dead or pretending to sleep. Fainting on the boat. Could it be just an act? You need to see me. I need to see you. I rolled out of bed. Pei Ruyan walked up to me, rather than speaking lazily and charmingly. However, I'm looking for you. Can I wait a few days? I'm not feeling well today. Where did you feel uncomfortable? I instinctively turned my head to the side. Pei Ruyan's face instantly turned cold. You're afraid of me. Not being afraid of you would be the real thing. As long as you behave, except for freedom. I can give you anything. Can you really give me your life? I replied perfunctorily. Pei Ruyan finally let go of me. He turned and walked into the bathroom. I can't anger her. Otherwise, the chance to escape would be even slimmer. I finally breathed a sigh of relief. Go downstairs to the kitchen to pour water. But before I could even drink the water, a loud crash came from upstairs. Immediately after, a woman's scream rang out. I quickly put down my water cup and headed for the stairs. From afar, he saw a man kneeling on the corridor camera. It was one of the two servants from the daytime. I obediently stood next to Pei Ruyan. What is it? You go downstairs first. Right after, a man slipped into my room. You say, what should I think? I suspect this man was arranged by me. You really think highly of me. To meet the requirements for good questions later, I had no choice but to start flattering her. Because your charm is boundless. These talents are all racking their brains. Throw myself on you. Hearing this compliment, Pei Ruyan's expression, visibly easing the situation. Really? My head was pounding like garlic. Pei Ruyan threw herself into my arms. Then why didn't you rush over? I could only smile awkwardly. At that moment, Lin Man only realized something was off when she reached the second floor, trying to slip away. Wait. Drag this man away from me. I am like a smoke in compensation. Never give anyone a second chance. As soon as he finished speaking, the man was knocked out by bodyguards who had arrived. This woman is terrifying. This servant had been with her for so many years. Just like that, he handled it. My fate is probably even worse than this servant's. Scared. She seemed to feel. I only dared to speak out in anger. It's very interesting. He then firmly landed on the ground. You make me very satisfied. As long as you behave, this villa is yours to decide. Of course, you can also try running away. The result is this, you should never look at them again. Heard and disappeared. Miss Pedder, I won't dare again. I promise I will never appear before you again. The pendant is like smoke. How? For a man who wants to climb into your woman's bed, you have been moved with compassion. That's true. He lacks the heart of a bodhisattva. How to be a doctor? Even when I'm old, I've already been thrust all the way in. Grandpa is struggling to escape, much bigger than I imagined. As for the school, I can't even leave this villa. What is there to talk about finishing your studies? You've made me happy to serve you. I might consider it. Let you go back to school. If you have the guts to climb into my bed, you have to be prepared to lose your life, you. What exactly could I do to let him go? What a pure-hearted man. After speaking, he waved his hand behind him. He directed the bodyguards to move the kitchen water dispenser to the center of the living room. What's wrong with drinking from the water dispenser, Mr. Wen? We detected a large amount of sulfatase in the water dispenser. The content per 100 milliliters exceeds 50 times the safe dose. Surveillance footage shows it was this mediocre person who poured the water into the tank before you went downstairs. You are a powerful waste. She has no grudge against me. Why do you want to harm me? Aren't you afraid of accidentally blocking Ruyan? If she hadn't called out to me just now, that glass of water was probably already down. I looked at her. For a moment, he didn't know what to say, although I hated this woman to the core. But it must be admitted, she truly saved me time and again. A gunfight once fell into the sea, and this time, words are one thing. Let's get something practical. Come and listen to me. I looked around at the people around me. No move. Pei Ruyan swept her gaze over the room, coldly tossed out 2 words. Everyone get lost. The bodyguard gate immediately drove the servant out. We can't just stop killing her. Pei Ruyan looked at me with a composure. It depends on how you perform. I could only lower my eyes and awkwardly press my lips to hers. After that, I didn't know what to do. Pei Ruyan frowned and complained. Did you graduate from kindergarten? Early the next morning, Pei Ruyan woke up. He found the surroundings empty. Where is he? Just as he reached the corridor, she saw me standing at the stairwell. He looked up at her. I made breakfast. Want to come down and try it? My eyes gleamed coldly and softly. It seems like the warm spring sun. Pei Ruyan also stared at me intently. The sun rises in the west. Just as he was about to go downstairs, I found myself wearing only a very short sleep outfit. Wait. I instantly put away my smile. It turns out that I have never seen him. He was so nervous that he didn't even bother to put on his clothes. If I really ran away, he insists on burying my bones and scattering my ashes. I turned and went back to the kitchen. Breakfast is set out one by one on the dining table. Doing something wrong. I calmly took a sip of milk. What guilty thing could I possibly do? The woman offered me the milk at hand. He actually took it and drank it all in one gulp. Don't you have it yourself? Why drink mine? Pei Ruyan put down her cup. He reached out to wipe the milk stain from the corner of my mouth. Then he placed his finger to his lips, bringing it sweet and soothing. Her expression was as if she had tasted some peerless delicacy. I instantly understood her intention. My scalp tingled. He hurriedly wiped his mouth with the back of his hand. The woman smiled and said, "Since you're trying so hard to please him, go ahead. What do you want? Can I usually see your study and go online?" She was too bored here. Pei Ruyan's eyes instantly turned cold. Being with me is boring. I think you're just bored. Eat well. Tonight, we are. Go ahead. She bit into the toast in her hand at a leisurely pace. The spread cheese stuck to her fingers. She stared at me as she stuffed the cheese in my hand into my mouth. I looked at her as if she was treating me like cheese. A heart sinks to the bottom of the valley. Fortunately, I eventually managed to get the right to use the internet. I turned on my computer and started searching for information about this island. The eldest daughter of the Liu family, Liu Xiao. It was the Pei Ruyan I knew. The foremost noble family in the Jiangnan region. He started his career in Southeast Asia. It was only after the efforts of 3 generations of rulers that it gradually cleared its name. Pei Ruyan is the eldest daughter of the current power holder, Lu Qingsang, who has just been recognized. The birth mother is inauspicious. Lu Qingsang had 3 wives in total. Madame Zhuang Yulon. He practiced Buddhism year-round, living in a pure and tranquil life. After marriage, there was no offspring. The second wife, Yang Yahui, came from a rural background, became a maid in the Liu family. After the window climbing incident occurred, she gave birth to a daughter, Liu Nian. She smoothly ascended to the throne of Second Lady Liu. Third Lady Su Qing. He is only in his 30s this year. Proper care of body and appearance. She has a daughter, Liu Shisheng. From morning until noon, that was just half a day. News about the Liu family kept coming up. Overwhelming and overwhelming. On the other hand, I only found one name on this island. Other than that, nothing was gained. Now I finally know. That servant from last night. Why risk your life and do that kind of thing? Mr. Wen. Miss asked me to take care of your meals. Take care. Maybe the previous life was more like that. Auntie, How should I address you? Just call me Mom, sir. It was only when I arrived at a restaurant that I realized the entire villa was organized from top to bottom. All the servants were replaced. An aunt around 50 years old, with Pei Ruyan's appearance. Is 59 useful? 80 years old isn't enough, right? This is a redundant act. Very soon, more than a dozen dishes that were visually appealing, aromatic, and delicious. They were served to the table one by one. It's far more than enough for one person to finish. I looked at Hima and asked, Hima, have you tried it yet? Want to eat together? Cannot be allowed, cannot be allowed. Sir, you may eat by yourself. I didn't force myself to pick up my chopsticks and start making big chunks of clothes, eating while probing and spitting down. Hima, how long have you been in this line of work? Wen Yang, his mom, gave an awkward smile. I only started doing it this year. I see. I was still thinking. Hima would know some of the Liu family's secret gossip, and let me learn more about that crazy woman. The husband likes to eat carrots. Say you don't like it. That way, next time you won't have anything to eat. On his mother's green-ribboned, weathered face, a faint smile appeared. The truth about my husband and my son. They all love eating carrots. Hima, you have a son. That should be much older than me, right? I guess it's about the same as the gentleman. But he passed away at the beginning of the year. Gone. Does it mean he's gone? Me. Running away should be a routine thing by the afternoon, so that he wouldn't be pestered by that woman again at night. I ran away. What about his mom? Would that crazy woman Pei Ruyan kill innocent people at will? But he didn't want to stay here any longer. Grandpa was still waiting for me at home. He must be extremely anxious. Before Pei Ruyan returned, I had to find a chance to escape. The weather is so nice. Sir, would you like to go out for a walk? Didn't the butler tell you? Am I not allowed to go out? Yes, it was said, but the husband couldn't stay at home forever. It'll be stuffy, and such good news. Could it be that Pei Ruyan has changed her nature? It was deliberately arranged. Running away is the real deal. Then let's take advantage of the housekeeper's absence. Slip out. If you find it, just say it's me. He insisted on going out for a walk. That way, you won't be penalized. Great, that's great. Hima, as the ordinary person of this villa, isn't it a bit too big? Which perfectly suits my wishes. We'll set off in 5 minutes. Sir and my son really look alike. He likes eating carrots. Likes to laugh. Also tall and slim. She also spoke to me happily like this. I strode upstairs to get some essentials. The escape plan took shape in his mind. It will become a CVD. Miss, that person has already confessed. The assassination was carried out by the second wife, Yang Yahweh. Should this person be sent to Chairman Liu? How could old Master Liu possibly care? The daughter left behind by my mother. After all, she had betrayed her before. So what if I were killed? Miss, after I get back, I'll punish myself 3 times. How can it be so stupid? If Chairman Liu really took a liking to it, the eldest miss, this daughter, how could they take Liu Pharmaceuticals? Leave it to the young lady. Among all branches under Liu Corporation, Lucia Pharmaceuticals' annual revenue, they are all at the bottom. After all, 100 years have passed through bloodshed and turmoil to consolidate their power. What foundation does he have in medicine? All right. By then, you'll be down. Who will do things for me? I hope that after the young lady sees this information, don't lose your temper. That's all. 50% of Liu's pharmaceutical executives, infiltrated by the second madam. Another 20% were infiltrated by the third lady. Most of the company isn't in the hands of the young lady. Miss, please calm down. That's really all there is. Lin Man didn't dare lift her head to answer her. Go check on Yang Yahweh's daughter. That old guy was only after profit. The most unbearable. Isn't that just losing their interests? Yes. What is she doing? According to the report from the previous hour, Mr. Wen and a maid. Then we discussed going out for a walk. Let's go. Maid? Yes. Now, the two of them had already avoided the butler's gaze, slipped away through the back door. Do we need to send someone to stop it? Bring the scene over indirectly. Yes. Pei Ruyan opened the tablet. The middle-aged maid stood nearby. It was as if he was saying something. Magnify. I have money and salt. The people chasing me lined up from here all the way to France. Some even say I'm not a good match. Is this mate just too bored? He even dared to encourage a Chen to look again. Maybe you don't want to live anymore. Give this auntie a beating, then drive them out. Yes, miss. Wait. This man. Even when I'm not around, you still dare to smile so happily. Am I some kind of monster? Then let's keep the staff. Should someone be sent to escort Mr. Wen back to the villa? Li Ren did not answer. He seemed to be distracted. His gaze was steady, placed on that youthful, righteous smile. Like a shallow dog, like a greedy one. It's like someone who has lived in darkness their whole life. The first time I saw the sunlight. No need. He ordered the people on Mandao to strengthen their patrols. Yes. Mr. Pei, the afternoon high-level meeting will be waiting for you alone. Pei Ruyan ignored him. My gaze remained on the tablet. How did the dismissal go? Anyone who hasn't seen Mr. Wen's face is let go. The two who had seen him had already been guarded tightly. Pei Ruyan set the tablet up on her desk. Behind him, the man leisurely basked in the sun. The smiling smile at the corner of his mouth was frozen on the screen. Night fell. I lay in bed, her eyes fixed on the ceiling. Escape Plan 1.0 was declared a failure. Not to mention people. On this island, not even a fly could fly out. Every Buchuan point and tarmac, there are always dedicated guards. Unless I can jump into the sea, swimming back to the river city on the opposite bank. Clearly, this is not something I can accomplish. But fortunately, I made some unexpected gains, leaving the area where the villa was located. Elsewhere, a wide variety of medicinal herbs grow here. It's practically a treasure chest. This begins with this. I couldn't help but get up and open the wardrobe door. White Tree, by Zhao. One moo of grass. I put the herbs back on the lid. Zheng Yu turned around. A wave of fragrance wafted toward me. What are you looking at? Hearing his question, my heart tightened. I tried hard to suppress the fear of being caught. He spoke slowly. I saw the clothes you bought. I'm a grown man. I don't need so much. If I hadn't had to go out during the day. You really don't need it. I looked up slightly. I refused to meet her enchanting gaze. I'm going to take a shower. Pei Ruyan pressed even closer. His eyes sparkled. Long, curled lashes brushed my neck's lash like feathers. Let's go together. I clutched my clothes tightly. It's ridiculous. How could I be taken by a woman? Kicked like this. Pei Ruyan left me, deliberately in front of me. He spat out those silver high heels. I looked at the person in front of me. So stiff it seems as if it could become a sculpture. Why be so nervous? While on the boat, aren't we in harmony? My face instantly flushed from my cheeks to behind my ears. You can hear your own uncontrollable heartbeat. Pei Ruyan stared at me, frozen in place. He grabbed me and headed to the bathroom. I grabbed her unrestrained hand. What's wrong, brother? I have a kind of shame. There is a complex atmosphere of emotions. He suddenly turned on the shower head. Cold water was poured over her. I tried to regain a shred of reason. The water temperature gradually increases. Mist swirled around. Another X is unavoidable. In the following days, Pei Ruyan was nowhere to be found. I seized this opportunity. He did his best to sneak out the door to gather flowers and plants. The villas mainly pick mandoko flowers. The toxicity varies depending on the part of this flower. As long as the poison dose is properly controlled, it can temporarily numb people's nerves, and will not put people to death. In the corner of the villa's backyard, two figures sat down. Fresh flowers are being ground into pollen, packed in powder spray bottles. Mother, he hesitated as she looked at the person across from her. Sir, are you really trying to escape? Of course they had to escape, and I want to escape with you. I don't quite understand. Ma, wasn't it you who said it back then? A woman as wealthy and influential as Miss Pei. Wasn't it the good match who advised me to look for someone else? That's true. But I never expected it. She was so wealthy and powerful. Not only the eldest daughter of the Liu family. That morning spectacle. Another plane. Another ship. No matter how you look at it, she doesn't seem like someone skilled at it. Sir? I mean, what if we were caught? You take all the blame. All of it was pinned on me. Just say it's all because of me, this old woman. And his thoughts were not upright. Encouraging you, forcing you. As a man, how could I let Mom take the blame for me? How could that be? This long-lost warmth. It reminds me of my grandfather. Sir. Sometimes I look at you. It was like seeing my son. It was also the prime of youth. So youthful. So lively. I'm just an old bone. It was also at the age where it was about to rust. It's useless now. Push me out. It's really good for both of us. You're still young. The road ahead is still long. And Mom, listen to me. We will definitely escape together. I promise. Return. To the living room, the servants had already brought out dinner, and Mom. Let's eat together. Sir, this is not very good. How could I sit at the table? Sit down with Mom. We're all people trying to escape anyway. Soon, they were no longer master and servant. Sir. Still, be careful not to get hurt. Let's eat. This meal has to be well eaten. After eating well, sneak out under the cover of night. By the way, Ma, just call me by my name. Calling him Mr. sounds stiff. Then how about I call you Ah Chen? All right, my grandfather calls me that too. Ah Chen. Do you have enough cash on hand? If not, Hemas will give you some more. You and your grandfather will walk together. The expenses on this journey are definitely considerable. No need. You can save a little for yourself. Find a place Pei Ruyan can't find. Live well. I don't have any major expenses. He only tends to pay respects to my son's grave. He stopped with Mom's words. I quickly realized that too. If Pei Ruyan wanted to find them, he will definitely find something to use against his mom. The matter of tomb sweeping. It seems unlikely anymore. That's pretty good too. So I don't keep worrying about it. He couldn't let go of the past. He and Mom never mentioned it. How did his own son pass away? But I could tell my mom in a similar tone. A sorrow that cannot be concealed. Guess the story behind this. Perhaps very heavy. Mom and I will make a fish with good bones. Place it in front of me. Go ahead and eat. I lowered my head and peeled rice. If not for Pei Ruyan, I think I'll really like this path. A Cheng. From now on, just follow what Hema says. Find someone who treats you well, care about you, supporting you. It can bring you joy. It makes you feel free and at ease. Stay away from those bad women. Don't listen to what they say. Outside the private eyes of M country, give her freedom. A strange omen appeared in the heavens. Make sure everyone patrolling the island tonight wears masks. Yes, miss. Whether it is necessary to arrange gas masks, no need. Too deliberate. But that would be boring. Next to the tombstone stands a datura tree, quietly blooming with flawless white flowers. Miss. The second young lady was unable to repay her gambling debts, threatened to blow up your Isle of Man tonight. Desperate words like jumping over a wall, raise the Isle of Man's security level to the highest level, so as not to scare that innocent college student. Yes, Lin Man checked that the time was about right. He then pushed open the door and got out of the carriage. He lined up with a group of bodyguards and stood at the edge of the cemetery. The woman immediately got out of the car. He walked toward the center of the cemetery. When the woman's figure disappeared to the size of a palm, Lin Man's phone rang. What's going on, according to him? Stealth fighters evading missile interception. Global production is only in the digits. The young lady had one in her hands. The remaining few planes, as far as he knew, had been purchased by other groups that had stolen them. This meant the young lady's rival took the opportunity to get involved. Why does Sotu want to know about the young lady and the death zone? Someone within the Liu family is collaborating with the young lady's rival. Despicable. The situation is grim. Lin Man glanced at the figure kneeling in front of the tombstone in the distance with a complicated expression. He turned back and asked, "What about Mr. Wen?" The scene was temporarily unclear. But we can see. The young lady finally had a man she could catch her eye. What a pity. Lin Man exhaled heavily. He hung up the phone. Got it. Keep watching me. Report any interest immediately. Yes. Lin Man had bodyguards in the team whispering to the rain. Looks like you're new here. Of course, it was the goal of the young lady's mother. Every year at this time, the young lady comes here to pay her respects. You have to kneel for a full 3 hours. The young ladies matter. Do you have the right to gossip? If these words accidentally slip into the ears of the other party, every single grain of soil in this cemetery was blasted to the ground. Manjia, I deserve to die. Go back and claim it. Punish yourself with 3 lashes. And you, returning home, I also take charge of the 3 whips. I shouldn't ask about it in the future. Less inquiring. At this moment, Sister Pei hated being disturbed the most. Should we notify them or not? But what good would it do if he said it? It's just a few planes and a few ships. The value of an arsenal is just a drop in the bucket. Even if they fly back now, that was also 10 hours later. Forget it. Let's wait until he comes out. At this moment, the artillery fire on Mandao is tomorrow. The explosions were deafening. Thick smoke and raging fire shot up into the sky. Do it. Bird of the Dragon is one thing. Is there still a danger to their lives? This woman really isn't a fool's side. What? Mom, if we want to leave, we go together. I'll carry you. What? Mom, are you okay? You. Can you hear me speak? Aunt he, wake up. And died. Here it is, right? I'll take you away. Let's go now. My grandpa is very skilled in medicine. I can definitely cure you. Definitely. I'll take you away right now. Live a life that belongs to you. Child. There was a chance. Go take a look for me, my son. Fuan Highway, Jiangbei District. Number 66. Aren't he? Aren't he? Aiken, do you have enough cash on hand? If not, Hima will give you some more. Aiken. From now on, just follow what mother he says. Find someone who treats you well, care about you, supporting you. It can bring you joy. It makes you feel free and at ease. The weather is so nice. Sir, would you like to go out for a walk? Didn't the butler tell you? Am I not allowed to go out? Yes, it was said, but the husband couldn't stay at home forever. It'll be stuffy. Why is Hima such a good person? Why endure such hardship? Why? Miss, I didn't notify them in time. If any serious consequences occur, I, Lin Man, will bear it all myself. He sent over the surveillance footage from before the explosion. Yes, Lin Man stood up from the ground. Pull up the partition face, back in the front half of the plane, somewhat baffled. Miss, is this really anger? Still not angry. Inside the rear half of the aircraft, Pei Ruyan picked up the tablet nearby. Pei Ruyan's fingertips lost their rhythm. How much longer will it take? Right away. As soon as he finished speaking, the tablet's screen lit up. The woman's fingertips moved swiftly. In just a few seconds, two figures appeared. In the villa's backyard surveillance footage, time is frozen 10 minutes before the bombing. Lin Man, send drones. Island round the island flight. Sync the screen to me. A few minutes later, drones are like headless flies, a seeker without a target. Lin Man couldn't help but ask, Miss, what to look for? Pei Ruyan didn't answer her directly. He instructed her, I'll take control. Lin Man was puzzled, yet still followed the instructions of their young lady. Taking control of the drone, switched to the tablet, centered around villas, searching while unfolding the carpet, half a circle around the island. Pei Ruyan finally found herself on the sandy shoal. I spotted a familiar figure. It was indeed encouraging Wen Chen. He went back to find the auntie from Liang Pei. Isn't it already completely cold? The camera was reincarnated 50 meters higher. A wooden boat at the distant dock. Lost all trace. The woman's tightly pressed red lips. A subtle curve unintentionally. Have someone check it out. If he dies, don't burn it yet. Lyman asked. Alive. The curve of Pei Ruyan's mouth gradually widened. Rather than being somewhat playful, a trace of footing flashed in his eyes. Be sure to put out the fire. The kind that holds onto the ground is best. Understood. Medical personnel were immediately arranged to be on standby. Handled according to your requirements. Get the car ready. You really feel like you. Ling Man did not understand. Miss, not going back to Mandao? No? First, head to Win Chime Alley. Win Chime Alley. Mr. Wen's grandfather lived there. Could it be that the young lady is thinking, and personally came to his door, inform Mr. Wen of his death? No, it is incorrect. That's not her style. Just as she was wondering, she saw. Pei Ruyan lifted the curtain, with a light and nimble step, heading toward the cockpit. The young lady had to drive herself. The plane suddenly accelerated and headed toward the first wheeler. The Liu family in Jiangcheng sits in a garden covering nearly 100 mu, swimming into the outdoor paradise. On the west side, inside the elegant garden, there is a west terrace. At this moment, the conch opera at the Peony Pavilion was being performed one by one. It had already reached the final stage. Yang Yahweh lay on a bamboo chair. When someone dies, it really makes a difference. Even if you go to the underworld, you must meet them. His sarcastic remark left the ordinary person stunned. Yang Yahweh waved her hand. The people on platform 11 retreated, slowly leaning back on the bamboo chair. He didn't want to rest. Jadeite. You say, the master arranged for the wretch's daughter to be at Liu family medical. What exactly does that mean? I guess the head of the family doesn't like the young lady. I think she's just afraid she'll embarrass herself. When that wretch left the Liu family, she didn't have a single cent with her. What kind of daughter can you raise? It crawled out of a pile of garbage. What can you understand about running a company? Madam thought the family head had given Liu's medicine to the young lady. He wanted her to gain some experience. What shameless things did that man commit? If the master weren't so deeply attached to it, how could they have taken Pei Ruyan in, and saw a full garden? You didn't see the day Renzu returned to his ancestral line. The master saw that face. His eyes were dazed. This second madam just wanted someone to vent her frustration on. Very hard to please. That's true. We living people. How could they possibly win? Accompanying Ruyan, that dead scolder. The dead are what the master remembers most. Suddenly, a loud shout came from the front yard. Enyu Nian rushed in a panic. What's the rush? Yang Yahweh was unconcerned. No money again, Yang. Yahuwei's heart skipped a beat at these words. He quickly propped up his upper body and demanded, "And what kind of trouble have you caused me this time? Wasn't this telling you to behave yourself recently? Good mom. You first promised to find dad to protect your daughter." Yang Yang would roll her eyes at her. "All right, go ahead." He stood up from his chair with the help of her hand. He sat down at a nearby tea table. "Go pour me a cup of tea." "Yes." Lun Yan sat down across from him. Hesitantly, he began. "I'm at the casino." "Oh, it lost 100 million. What did you say, female?" "Provoking me in the casino." 100 million, barely scraping by. That should be fine, mom. There is one more thing, isn't this a pretty good job? We have a hard time. He wouldn't have it easy either. No wonder she's my good daughter, Yang Yahuwei, over there, dad. He went to complain to your father. Not really. Father still doesn't know about this. Your father doesn't know. Why are you still rushing to say something? Then sooner or later, he would say so. Let's talk about it first. Mom, didn't you teach me before to seize the initiative? What a foolish child. Not at all as clever as a human. Look at you. What if your father finds out? Denial. Did you hear that? You are the Lu family misborn from my belly, Yang Yahuwei. Money killing someone isn't a big deal. I just can't let your father find out, otherwise. Compete with him for property. Mom. You say, would Pei Ruyan be very wealthy? How much money could he possibly have? He had money and could still acknowledge this father. It's just because they are greedy for our Lu family's wealth. Then how could he possibly afford that island? How much is that broken island worth? All poisonous flowers and poisonous plants. At the auction 2 years ago, no one wanted it. It is said to affect feng shui, but none of the people I sent have returned. They all died outside. Impossible. If my daughter knew those people were sent out by me, it is reasonable not to bring this matter to the master. Mom, that was feng shui at work. If he had money, how could they be satisfied with just a few small pieces at Lu Pharmaceuticals? I think the island's feng shui is bad. He even knocked him to death. That's true. That little bitch didn't even notice the people I planted in Lu's Pharmaceuticals. Definitely don't know how to run a company. How could they possibly have money? All right, you should go back. Mom will help you make up the money first. That way, he won't end up reporting to your father later. You keep this matter to me. Did you hear that, rotten? The entire wind chime looked as if it had been stretched long. Pei Ruyan lifted her leg and walked toward the tail. In front of the dilapidated clinic, the rolling curtain door was half open. The atmosphere was extremely quiet. The woman lifted the rolling shutter. He bent down and slipped into the clinic. This bloodstains. It had long since dried up and turned black. Judging by the color, it has existed for a long time. He made a gesture. Lin Mai understood instantly. A faint gasp sounded. Suddenly, a voice came from the direction of 6 o'clock. Seidu was almost disappearing into thin air. Pei Ruyan turned and walked toward the woods outside the backyard. Just stepped into the forest. She saw the person she was looking for. Fierce. He waved her hand away. Pei. Ruyan's face showed indeterminable anger or sympathy. As he spoke, he stepped forward and lifted my head. My angry eyes were bloodshot at this moment. Don't even want to see me. At this moment, countless seas of poetry from the island flashed through my mind, recalling people's painful hobby. I remembered watching his mother pass away right before my eyes. You lunatic, you devil. You caused so many deaths. You caused his mother to die. My grandfather is missing too. All for you. Get out of my way. Get lost. I stood up. He stared intently at the woman in front of him. The woman did not respond. He just took out his phone and gave the order. Lin Man, arrange for a car to come over. Stop sending it to you. She wants to take me back again. Ever since he met Pei Ruyan, there is nothing good about it. Mother, he is dead. Grandpa is missing. My life collapsed. Very soon, Lin Man got out of the black sedan. Miss, Pei Ruyan gently tossed out a sentence. Take her to the hospital. Return. Where do you think you're going? A seductive voice rang out. A silver needle suddenly pressed against the woman's side sash. It landed squarely on her carotid artery. I looked at her resolutely. Outside the window, Lin Man was so frightened by the scene that she saw it in the middle of the night. Miss, he hurriedly tried to open the car door, but he found that the car door had somehow been locked from the inside. Lin Man knew this was the young lady's intention. She could only stand helplessly outside. Inside the car, Pei Ruyan looked at me with great interest. Go for it, brother. Suddenly speaking. Yet he felt as if he were dead. Together, too. Not bad. Pei Ruyan. This is a complete madman. It seems like something worth looking forward to. Pei Ruyan not only sat on my lap without delay, he leaned down and pressed close to my ear. You stole so many flowers and plants from my island, and you didn't even pay for them. Chen. Steal. Her movements were completely transparent right under her nose, and I was even dreaming of escaping Man Island. Escape from her grasp. If I go back, this woman would never let me go out to find my grandfather. No hippos, no grandpa. Be a bird among dragons without freedom is no different from death. My hands must not be stained with blood. A super secretive scream nearly pierced my ear. There was no pain in my neck. I turned my head and saw Ningzhen was pricking Pei Ruyan's palm. Blood flowed from the eye of the needle, and I looked at her in shock. Pei Ruyan frowned as she looked at her palm that had already reddened. She forced me to meet her gaze, her eyes full of promise. Just want to die like that. What's the difference between being imprisoned by your side and dying? What am I to her? Hell? Hell is not wrong. But even so, I couldn't let her go. Didn't she like that auntie? Then give her a reason to live. That auntie isn't dead. Pei Ruyan raised her hand, signaling to Ling Wen outside the window. Miss. If you promise not to run, I'll allow you to stay with her. He still needs to find his grandfather. Pei Ruyan agreed immediately. Yes, you can. Bu didn't know if this was right or wrong, but I have no choice either. No, actually, what I just said was out of anger. She did not kill the hippo. I said this on purpose. Unexpectedly, she actually accepted it. Sorry. Thank you for saving the hippo. What did you say? Pei Ruyan looked at me with an unknowable expression. No one had ever said those 3 words to her in her life. Then prick me. How should this account be settled, Aiken? You deserve it. It had to be done at the very last moment. That's why you used the hippo incident to control me. What a clever and fickle guy. However, I think he preferred Wen Chen's clawed look. That frying actually works pretty well. At least Archon wasn't so afraid of me anymore. Isn't that so? It's not impossible. Consider giving the road a bit of a favor. Separated by glass windows, I saw Hima lying in the ICU. His whole body was covered in tubes. It was as if even breathing had lost its strength. I heard they were admitted to this ICU. Of the 3, you can make it out alive. 1 is already pretty good. I look at this place. Suspended, isn't that right? Look at that monitor. Within half a day, the inner spirit must have rang several times. I think so. Older than the one in our family. It's much more uncertain. Who are you? I told him to hit him. What are you? The surveillance footage was wiped out. Yes. Even if the young lady didn't say anything, I will erase it too. All traces of Mr. Wen around the young lady absolutely cannot be left behind, and absolutely no one should know. Still not enough? I want to stay here. Look at the hippo. If you're busy, you can go back first. Don't worry about me. What kind of attitude is that? Now you don't even speak to me politely. No, it is not allowed. What are you doing? Pei Ruyan stopped what she was doing. Her eyes flickered across my face. I was startled. Quickly turn your head away, Pei Ruyan. This is the hospital. So I called you home. You refuse. I thought you wanted to be here. If you don't want to be here, just come back with me obediently. For a moment, she teased me. He couldn't say anything to refute him. If you refuse to listen. But he didn't know what he would do next. I had no choice but to say, Aunt He. What if Aunt He suddenly woke up? She needed people. You have to find someone to watch over her. Pei Ruyan curled her red lips lightly and tossed out 2 words, begging me. I don't like to talk about it. What does that mean? She pulled me to the basement. Tonight? How many times can you come tonight? I'll just find a few people. Come to guard the ICU. I sat in a car with a cold face and said nothing. She propped her head up with one hand. She leaned in and looked at me. He looked inexplicably thoroughly enjoying himself. Pei Ruyan stared at me so much that I lost all memories. How? I was fascinated. He witnessed this woman's extraordinary skills. After a day, the Isle of Man was bombed in less than a day. The villa has already been fully restored. Besides the long time required, regrowing flowers, grass, and trees, the rest is almost indistinguishable from the original. Pei Ruyan lounged lazily in the living room, leaning back on the sofa. She changed into a plain silk nightdress, soft fabric, perfectly outlining her figure. Mr. Wen, all the paper products in your grandfather's clinic, including open knowledge, medical records, notebooks, and so on, anything with a written word, it's all here. We conducted preliminary inspections and protective treatments. Thank you, Sister Lin Man. If it were just me, no one knows when they'll find it. The person you want to thank. Here? Brother. Don't thank the wrong person. This crazy woman sometimes seemed a bit childish. I reluctantly threw out a perfunctory thank you. Thank you. All right. Lin Man stood to the side, wanting to say something childish. Such a scene. Should I leave first? Still, he forced himself to interrupt. To be fair, I now seriously suspect that the young lady is a masochist. I just like to raise cows that don't drink water and have dark heads. Pei Ruyan asked when she saw Lin Man lingering on her feet. Go ahead. According to blood tests, the bloodstains on the ground, it really belongs to Mr. Wen's grandfather, Mr. Do Mengping. The timing was a week ago. A week feels like time spent kidnapping onto a prosthetic. My grandfather and I were just ordinary citizens. How could something like this happen? Who is it? What exactly is it for? I thought for a moment. He couldn't control the force in his hands. Sorry. Pei Ruyan's hand was buried until it turned bright red. Pei Ruyan was not just a broom torture. He even saved me several times. I couldn't help but lean closer. He slowly exhaled gently toward Pei Ruyan's wound. The woman stared at my movement, stunned. Pei Ruyan suddenly threw herself into my arms and hugged me. What's wrong? She lifted her head, pretending to be pitiful. Brother Arching is so cute. On ordinary days, few people were close to him. Injured but silent, she turned herself into a young lady with a steel rose. She actually managed to act spoiled with the man in front of her. This man really is no ordinary person. Second miss, she. Hearing the confirmation, Ruyan let go and sat up. Speaking, the second madam had already paid off the 100 million yuan owed to the second young lady. He acted with great caution. We can't judge for now. Could she be colluding with the Manhwa organization? The mastermind behind the slow navigation attack. Do we need to tie someone up and interrogate them thoroughly? What is the point of torture and torture? He asked him to come and ask for help. Isn't that even more interesting? Notify all senior management of Lucia Pharmaceuticals. Prepare bidding materials immediately. The first sales agency rights for the target K-19. Yes, miss. Weren't you planning to use second Miss Lun Yan as a target before? Let him go. I adhere to the principle that the more I know, the faster I die. He got up to leave. Right now, I wish I could be a cage. Hey, I'm still in pain. Who hurt them? Who is responsible? Taking advantage of others is short-handed. Eating people makes their mouths soft. Today, I saw the chi and blood in Hemon's hospital room. Each one is top-notch. I don't know how much money I spend in a single day. And clues to finding her grandfather. It was delivered to me in just a few hours. Maybe he wasn't as genuine as he was now. How could I think so? This madman isn't bad. What plants do you like? I looked up and glanced around. They all like it. Chinese herbal medicine. How about that? You don't like it? Black as smoke. A madman who treats human life as worthless, yet he still cared about auspiciousness. The king of hell sees you. I'm afraid you'd have to avoid it. Oh? Why not want it, Brother Arching? Let's go back to our room. Driven by some inexplicable force, I dragged her into the house. As the stairs climbed, Pei Ruyan still held my hand. He started to act recklessly on me. Cheng. Be my man. Except for freedom. I can give you anything. Can I have a phone? And still going to school, then you'll have to ask yourself. Since there was no escape, just make the most of her. Riemann. He found 3 people to keep watch over the auntie. Yes, if the young lady has nothing else, I'll hang up now. The shallow miasma moonlight streamed through the floor-to-ceiling windows, shining on the edge of the bed. Pei Ruyan lazily leaned into my arms. His fingertips gently traced the lines in my palm. I looked at her, her eyes unusually gentle, the manager's unbreakable imitation thread. In the end, a quiet crack still formed. She bought it at auction with her determination. On the deck, she bent down to steady me as I played dead. Then on Man Island, accompanying day and night. Looking back now, she saved me from a hail of bullets, protected me from being harmed by the enemy, even gave up for me. Manhwa symbolizes darkness in the black mandala. In the eyes of outsiders, this is a ruthless killer. Miss Feng Pi. Only for me does he hide a tenderness unknown to others. What are you thinking? She tilted her head up, her lips half brushing against my lower mouth. I tightened my arms and held her even tighter, thinking of Grandpa. Mentioning her grandfather, Pei Ruyan's expression turned slightly cold. Mr. Doe's matter. I've already figured out the clues. Really? Where is Grandpa? The bloodstains from your previous clinic. What exactly happened? The last test result was incorrect. The blood from the clinic isn't from my grandfather. He was a member of the Manga organization. A deliberately left illusion. The goal is to lure you into the game. They catch you. This is no accident. It's because of your grandfather's ancestral secret traditional Chinese medicine techniques. So that's how it is. No wonder I was kidnapped at that time. It wasn't long since the incident at the clinic had happened. No wonder the second madam of the Liu family, Yang Yahui, insisted on killing me. No wonder Pei Ruyan has always been secretly protecting me. All of this was aimed at Grandpa. A conspiracy about secret Chinese medicine techniques. The Manga organization has long entrusted your grandfather with a secret recipe. Previously, multiple attempts to snatch her were refused. This time, they joined forces with the Liu family's second wife. First, I tied you up and forced Grandpa to comply, then bombed the Isle of Man to wipe out the roots. Lun Yan's gambling debts. It was all Yang Yahui backing him up behind the scenes. She wanted to take the hand of an outsider, get rid of me, the eldest daughter of the Liu family, and then you can control the secret recipe between you and Grandpa. Completely devour Liu Shi pharmaceuticals. I understood. Pei Ruyan seemed to imprison her in a mad manner. In reality, it was all about protecting me completely. What about he Ma? He was already out of danger. 24-hour supervision is arranged. Wait until she recovers. I will send her to a safe place. Let her enjoy her later years. A warmth filled my heart. He lowered his head and kissed her forehead. Thank you, Ruyan. This was the first time I sincerely called her by name. Her eyes lit up slightly, like a child who gets candy. He reached out and hooked his sword around my neck. On this early morning, Pei Ruyan then began to arrange a reckoning. This is the past 3 years. In the projects you handle, the flow of funds is unclear. Approval of preliminary audit reports for violations. Before the end of the workday, I want to see your reasonable explanation. And resignation letters. All of this is true. Yang Yahui and Lun Yan, leave it to me to handle. They owe me. Owe a Cheng. Owe the innocent people on the island. It's time to pay it back very soon. Yang Yahui was accused of maliciously colluding with overseas organizations, intentional murder, and seized family property, deprived of all identities, and sent him to prison, and was never allowed to leave prison for life. Lun Yan's gambling debts were forbidden and crushed. The mother and daughter who once served as blessings in the Liu family. In the end, he ended up disgraced, and the Manga organization, which colluded with them. Pei Ruyan had even uprooted him. He mobilized all his forces. They besieged Manga's stronghold. She rescued her grandfather, Do Mengping, who was under house arrest. When Grandpa appeared before me, I couldn't hold back any longer. She rushed forward and hugged him tightly. Chen, you've suffered. Thanks to Ruyan, the girl. Otherwise, the two of us, grandfather and grandson, I'm afraid we'll never see him again. I turned to look at Pei Ruyan, who was standing nearby. She lowered her gaze slightly. A faint blush appeared on his cheeks. I took her hand. Grandfather, she has always protected me. Only then can I stand here safely. Like smoke. Thank you. You're a good kid. Aiken was lucky to have met you. Grandfather, I will protect Aiken for the rest of my life. Give her freedom. Give her everything. After Mom recovered, Pei Ruyan kept her promise. He took her to number 66 Fuan Highway, Jiangbei district. He visited her son's grave for her. He also arranged a stable retirement for her. Kind mom. He finally escaped the hardships of the past and lived peaceful days. On the Isle of Man, all black mandalas were completely eradicated. Instead, mountains and fields covered with Chinese medicinal herbs. Pei Ruyan did as I wished. This island was once shrouded in darkness. It was transformed into my own herbal garden. She was no longer the cold-blooded and sharp sister Pei. Instead, he would accompany me to gather herbs, sun the medicine. He prepares breakfast for me early in the morning. It will happen at night. An ordinary woman nestled beside me watching the moonlight. I returned to the Department of Traditional Chinese Medicine at Jiangcheng University. Complete your studies. Inherited my grandfather's clinic. Pei Ruyan turned down most of the social engagements, accompanying me to class every day. Her former admirers lined up in France, but in her eyes, from then on, it was just me. Wen Chen. In this lifetime, you can't escape. Afterwards. For the rest of my life, year after year,